Okay. Oh my god, Hello. It's been a while since I made a video with actually good quality when it comes to sound, because my adapter broke like months ago and I just now got like a new one. So I couldn't use my microphone. This is gonna be a sketchbook tour, because I finished the sketchbook. But there's a few things I want to say beforehand, because there's a few updates that are kind of like sketchbook relevant. The biggest thing that's been happening the past weeks is that I did not get accepted at one of the art schools I applied at. I applied at two, and I didn't get accepted at either, which I kind of like. I didn't predict, but like it doesn't surprise me, honestly, because I don't think I am ready. So now you ask, how is this important to the sketchbook? It is important to the sketchbook because this sketchbook was made under the context, under the influence that I knew that I was going to show this to professors at art unis. And that kind of led to the sketchbook being like 60% art of me and my friends, which I had a lot of strong emotions this past year, and they reflect in this sketchbook, which is what makes this sketchbook tour especially scary, because I don't know how people are going to interpret my feelings. I just wanted you to know this before getting into the sketchbook tour. But yeah, I'm really excited to show you the sketchbook either way. So let's get started, shall we? Hello, it is a day later and I'm finally getting to it. So, it's the sketchbook you might know from the last sketchbook tour, and I tried to paint some things on the cover, but I used gouache and I didn't seal it, so it's peeling off, but that's fine. As per usual, I have my postcards that I collected over time, and the doodles and my art goals, a butterfly count, because this is my designated butterfly sketchbook, for obvious reasons, as I am obsessed with butterflies, or have been obsessed with butterflies for the past 6 months. And for these postcards, they're all from the Bauhaus Museum in Weimar, which I visited when I went to see a friend there. And this is probably my favorite card of them all, because it's so cute. It's just a picture of the former staff and students from, I think, like way back in the day. And I just love all the tiny details, like this dude holding a sword. Like he looks like really done with his life, and just the people with the makeup and all the words, and there's just so much to see. I could stare at it for like hours and would discover something new. The first drawing is just like me trying to get over the first page syndrome. So it's me in an outfit that I really liked, and with some characteristics of the tarot card, the moon, because it's my favorite tarot card, or one of my favorites. And then we have the obligatory Art Deco drawing for a concept that I never work with. And then I saw this car like disassembled in a forest when I visited my friend, and I was on the train ride and I tried to capture it because I thought it looked really weird. And then you see here in the back, it looks as if I drew someone sitting in the back seat, but I don't actually remember doing that, so that's kind of creepy. Then this is like Doodles from when I actually went to see my friend, and we took some pictures. We went to IKEA, to an ice rink at a Christmas market, and it's just, I miss her so much, I love her so much, so I just had to doodle our pictures. Yeah. Some more 359 fan art of like the girls, because I love them, and I re-listened to Wolfie 59 last December, I think. I started this sketchbook in November, so yeah. And I'm kind of proud of these, but I don't know. There's room for improvement. And then there's my Christmas outfits from Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and History Major Reunion. That was very wholesome. Yeah, I just wanted to capture them because I really like them. And then there's a concept that I talked about with my friends, where we were like, okay, what would we be like if we were like fantasy characters? And so we made like a fantasy group. And that's me, and I am stupid, so yeah. And then I doodle some mice, because mice are my favorite animals, and Healing Good quotes before the show got postponed due to Corona. I'm very sad because I was really hyped for Healing Good, honestly. I thought it could become like the new, not the new Go Princess, but it had a lot of things that reminded me of Go Princess, and I really, really liked where they were going. And then there's just a self-portrait of me drawn in like neon Copic markers, because those are my favorite things to use at the moment. Some quotes in German, and a makeshift spatula that I used for some abstract art. When you flip it over, there's this, because I thought it was cute. Yeah. Then there's paintings of me and my friends, and it's just some of my favorite pictures that I have with them from the day where all of our oral grad exams were finished, and we did like a tiny celebration. And we took some nice pictures there, and I miss them a lot. And I noticed that this bottle of wine was on both of those pictures. And it's funny because this is kind of like a signature wine, and it's called Süß und Fruchtig, which translates to sweet and fruity. So yeah, I thought that was really nice. And oh my god, this is one of my favorite spreads. And then there's just like this metamorphosed butterfly BS, because you know butterflies. As I said, I got kind of like obsessed with butterflies in like January, I think. It's funny because I got this butterfly for my birthday from a friend, and like shortly after that I don't know why, but I saw butterflies popping up everywhere, and I had like a very weird emotional and mental and spiritual connection to butterflies this year. It's like, I don't know, and just like looking at the symbolism is like kind of weird, but anyways. I also try to write a little more. I'm not calling it poetry, because for it to be poetry there has to be a lot more work and thought put into it, so I just call it fancy prosa. So yeah, and I doodle something for it, I guess, and it's like not really good, but that's fine. And these are 3 iconic buildings in my town that I really like. Very nice. And then we continue with the butterfly craze. It's another drawing of me and my friends. We have this crazy tradition at my school, which on the last day of written grad exams, we jump in the pond of our school, and that used to be like a more rebellious act, and nowadays it's just like legalized by the school basically, so we are allowed to do that. Not only that, it's widely supported by teachers, I guess, and I don't know, it's kind of like symbolized a leap into life, if that makes sense. And I noticed that the thing I did in the background looked like a butterfly, so I was more like mind blown and made a legit butterfly out of it. That's just like the gouache swatches that you saw. I don't like this at all, but that's fine. Tiny doodles, I really, really like this style, I don't know. I also like, I think that and these two are like my favorite drawings, but I just like the tiny. Yeah, and then there's some doodles of Fanny from the novella that I wrote with an X out of it. Yeah, nothing too fancy. This is another like very emotional drawing of mine. There's a lot of these in there, as I said, and it's just like my, I don't know, a chronological recalling of things that happened in the last year, I guess, and I just wanted to like remind myself of how I grew the past year, I guess, and I don't know, I like the colors that I used. And then there's like a free page that was originally designated for Healing Good pre-co quotes. And then doodles of Eugene, and just comparing her to, I don't know, Kermit the Frog and that boy, I guess, because frog. Eugene is my bias. I don't know if I've said that before, but I cannot hide it any longer. She's like, I just love her so much, and I'm so sad because she's, one, super underrated, and also she's not in any subunit, which means you get not as many songs with her voice in it as for any other member, and that makes me so sad. Enough about Eugene, I just love her so much. I don't know, she just, like, I love all of the girls, but she has like a special place in my heart, also because she's so tiny and fierce. I don't know, I just love her. Okay, and then another like wash thing that I did with like two of my favorite colors, which are like,
I mean in the cupboard,
okay, a gouache experiment with two colors that I really like in this combination, which are pink and green, right? And then just some yellow on there because spring. I guess it wasn't even like, it was like still February there, but yeah, everything falls into place eventually, I guess, just like the flowers fall down there. And then this is just doodles of me dancing to the lyrics of the song. And the song is Koi no Uta from Tamako Market, which is one of my favorite comfort animes because I really relate to Tamako's experiences. And then I drew my friend when we were on the train from the nearest city back to town because we went to an art museum and she looked really cool, so I drew her. And then I drew myself in my carnival look. I dressed up as a Pokemon trainer, which you cannot see really, but I guess I didn't have a costume, so I also lost these glasses, and they're like original Ray-Bans from the 80s from my mom, and I'm very sad about this, and I want to replace them, but they're very expensive. And then there's just like a tiny spring playlist and some Tamako Market quotes and some doodles of characters that I never use because concept that I never use. And then there's some gouache doodles of a tree and a fox, a butterfly and a mouse, because the fox is like, because I read this book called Fox 8, or I think Fox 8 maybe, and I wrote some quotes down that I really liked from that book, because I got into reading more this year, which is nice. And then there's just doodles because I felt really like not well one day and I drank coffee because coffee makes me happy, I guess. I don't know, I like coffee because of the ritual and because of, I don't know, it's very comforting to me. So yeah, comfort coffee, I guess. And then there's just some rough studies of my left hand. And another doodle, because doodle is all I do, with like neon text markers. With the lyrics of the song Satellite by Luna. What did you think? Because I really liked the song for like 2 days. I mean, I still really like it, but I was obsessed with the song for 2 days, I guess. And then my friend, my former exchange partner from France, sent me the cutest voice message ever, and I just had to draw her. Oh yeah, I love her so much and I miss her so much, and I would really, really like to visit her again someday or have her come to my town again. It's been years since I saw her, like literal years. And then to fill a page, some more butterfly and like butterfly lyrics from the song Butterfly by Luna, because butterfly, obviously like butterflies are like the animal of the year for me. And the song Butterfly is the song of the year for me. And like completely unrelated, actually. Not completely unrelated, but kind of unrelated. Because I started liking butterflies before listening to Luna. And I didn't start liking the song Butterfly up until like March, I guess. I didn't really like it a lot at the beginning, but it kind of grew on me, I guess. So yeah. And then I did a study of like some girl on Pinterest, and I tried to incorporate her in different styles, and I don't really like this page, but that's fine. And then another doodle page from when I was very sad one day, and I saw a heron while walking the dog and crying, so I thought that was like the fateful meeting, because I've never seen a heron up close before, so that was very nice. And then some coffee doodles, because my father wanted some icons for the shop website. So I did some, and they're really cute, and I refined them digitally because those look really wonky. And I put some actual coffee on the page just to see how the medium behaves, and because I thought it looked cool. This is kind of difficult to explain. I don't really need to explain it either, but it's just, I don't know, do you know this feeling when you're at a party or somewhere at a gathering, a social gathering, and you kind of feel left out? That's what this is basically based on, because there was this one particular party where I ended up being all alone after 12 p.m. or is it 12 a.m? I think it's 12 p.m, right? Like 12 midnight. And all my friends had left already, and I felt like really at the wrong place. And I had to think of that scenario randomly while listening to Conan Gray's Fight or Flight. So I did like a tiny page doodle spread sketchbook thing. And then this is Hani for I guess K-pop idol OC group project with some friends, and I really enjoy drawing her. And I drew a coffee fairy, or in German Kaffee. And she's drawn in actual coffee because, you know, I have that available. I wanted to try an unconventional medium. Coffee is really weird to work with because if you layer it, this happens. And then I did some gouache studies of the view from my window and a view onto my window. And then this is just, you know, this feeling when you walk through a forest and these dentures in the trees look like eyes, and suddenly you notice that they're everywhere and you feel really watched. Yeah, I felt that and felt the need to doodle that down. And this is another really embarrassingly emotional thing, which is, I don't know, it was just me expressing my feelings through writing, and then later I really just realized why I felt the way I felt in that exact moment. So, and I felt the need to draw something for it, I guess, and I really like how this turned out. And then there's something more lighthearted, which is just my favorite magical girl characters, magical girls, and their quotes and messages drawn, because you know how much magical girls mean to me. So I have Curiel from Hokuto Precure, and Princess Tutu from Princess Tutu, and Fine and Rain from Fushigi Boshi no Futaguhime. And I don't know, it just looking at them makes me really happy. And then these are just like tiny character designs that I did, because someday I really wanted to draw tiny like bodies with objects as heads. And so we have Love, Eye, Sun, Sprout, Heart, Star, and Moon. And I tried to characterize them through tiny doodles. So yeah, and I really like this one because it's like, you are my sun, my moon, and all of my stars. And Star is like just one person, but Star is like so energetic that they're like everywhere at the same time. And so it looks as if there are multiple people. And then that's just like some drawings of myself on a day where I felt really good about myself, and I met a friend and we did like a tiny like social distance walk, and that was really nice. Also, you see the butterflies again. Oh my god. And then I tried to like do something similar as to what you can see here, but it didn't look at all how I liked it. I think colored pencils are probably not the correct medium for this, but yeah. And it's also way more organic than this one, I think. And I didn't like it, so I just covered the rest of the page with watercolors. And then this is a concept for an antagonist or a villain for Mahou Shoujo Incorporated. I don't really know what to do with her, but I know that she's kind of like her main subject are like gender roles, I guess. So yeah. And then this is just like tiny thumbnail sketches of a piece that I painted that didn't hold as much emotional value as I thought it would. But yeah. And then 20th of April is officially Mahou Shoujo Incorporated Day. We had our second anniversary this year, and I again did not do anything for it, but like just doodle some chiffon fight scenes and some Carl and Yua celebrating. But yeah, at least I did something. And then this is really funny. In Germany, or in German in the language, we say to lose one's red thread when we lose our point when we talk, when we trail off and just like suddenly our mind goes blank. So usually when I do that, I say, oh no, I just lost my red thread. And so I was talking to my mom and I said that, and she just looked to the ground and she was like, oh, never mind, I found your red thread. And she picked up this random piece of red string, and I was like, what? And then we just laughed because that was like such a weird coincidence, and so I just kept that in my sketchbook to remind myself, because that was really funny. And then there's just like some random doodles. Cultivating change, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And then we have some more neon landscape doodles, because I, as I said, love using these neon markers for some reason. And then we have some doodles of Tallinn and Schnee, and lyrics of a song that I relate to them. And I really like this, like things to never take for granted, health and companionship, which is very true, because they used to not have any of the two. And yeah, I mean, they're still not the most healthy people because they're both broken, but they have companionship now. These are like my two least favorite pages of the thing, but I eventually got Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I drew my mayor. Is it a mayor? Is it an islander? I drew Paula, my character, which is just me. So I drew myself in Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I don't know, I hate it. And then these are just some like doodles I did while watching a playthrough of the game Gris? Greece? I don't know what it's pronounced, but it's a beautiful game, and I just had to like do some painting, and I think it was like the perfect opportunity to just play around with some watercolor, because the entire game looks so watercolory and it's just so beautiful, and like it made me sob hysterically. And then there's another drawing like that's butterfly related. You have the lyrics of the song Butterfly, or like a line or 2 lines of the song, and I drew me and my friends again based on the album cover of Luna's album XX. And I don't know, I love it. I love the album cover a lot, and I love my friend. And then some more weird ass doodles. This is funny because I drew this and then I noticed, wait, this looks kind of like something I saw on Pinterest where someone like fused Frisk and Kara from Undertale, and they had like the exact same face as a result, and they just wrote discomfort over it, and I did the same because discomfort is pretty accurate to what I felt at that second, so that fit. And then this that I wrote, Je ne veux plus essayer, essentially just means I don't want to try anymore, which I wrote down there because I don't know, this sentence just came out of myself. I don't know, it's just like one of these things that you feel and you don't know why, but you just like need to write them down. And I wrote them down in French for whatever reason, because I really miss speaking French. And then there's some more doodles, and then this is me. Having a tiny blue phase and just listening to Jin Soul's Singing in the Rain and Love Letter. Then there's another piece of writing that I did, and then I just noticed that I like blue, I guess, which kind of just, I don't know, I don't really need to explain that, but I like being sad sometimes because it feels comfortable, because I know what it feels like and I can pinpoint what the feeling is. So I don't know. And this is just a comic that's also very sad. I was very sad for those few pages, I'm sorry. But it's again just like me feeling out of place at a party. But I didn't actually cry, I don't know, it was actually a really fun party. But when I was there, there were like multiple minutes where I just sat there in silence, feeling very disconnected from everyone. And then there's just some doodles desperately trying to fill this sketchbook. Teach Me Deconstruction is my unsatiable feeling to like want to completely deconstruct my entire art style. And some fairies because we want to get happy again. And then I drew some butterflies because I cannot possibly dub this my butterfly sketchbook without drawing like actual butterflies. So I did this on like one of the last pages. Also, like these names are just like what I call them, or what Animal Crossing calls them. I don't know if they're the actual names. Like for some of them, like I'm pretty sure this is a like citrus butterfly, Zitronenfalter in German. And I'm also pretty sure about this one, and also this one, and this one. But like the others, I don't know, that's what I call them. I don't know if this is actually like a Himmelsfalter, but it's what I know him as. And then this is probably one of my favorite things that I've done in my sketchbook. It took me a long time and I don't know what it is, but I had this idea and I feel like I've seen that somewhere and I wanted to like recreate it in my own style, but I don't know where I saw it and what it was. So it kind of reminds me of, I think, Envy from Full Metal Alchemist in his like beast form, where he has like all these souls inside of him. Is that Envy? Yeah, I think so. Anyways, very nice. And then last but not least, we have some childhood drawings of my favorite story when I was a child. And it's called Prinzessin Lilifee, and I rediscovered it just like a few days ago. And I listened to some of the audiobooks, and I like these sentences here because they're kind of, I don't know, relevant to the story. I found them in the audiobook. That was like the titles of the different sections. And this one says, Freunden helfen macht Spaß, which means to help friends is fun. And this one says, das soll nicht enden, which basically just translates to something like, this shall not end, which I thought was very, very cute. So yeah, that's the end of the sketchbook. There's just like a bunch of written stuff. But yeah, the sketchbook is an entire era in and of itself, which is really odd to admit, but I think I learned a lot through the sketchbook, and it just, I don't know.
Loser.
Hello everyone, this is Editing Mause here, and I don't know, I realized that I never signed out, and I still have this footage from opening my other sketchbook, my new one that I got, which is a bit smaller but red, which I really like. I wanted to have a change a bit because I had 3 black moleskins before, so now I went for the red one, just to change things up a bit. And I feel like I had so much more to say in this video, but I have also realized that I got into the habit of oversharing on the internet, which I kind of want to move away from, because as you might have noticed from the things in my sketchbook and just purely from what I said, I've been feeling a lot and things have been happening in my life, and I don't need to share all of this with strangers, but I don't know, I still really like keeping track of my progress so that I can look back on it, because I have it on YouTube. So and the sketchbook tours are a big part of them because they really showcase my growth. And so yeah, I hope you really liked this sketchbook tour and that it inspired you, or I don't know, that you got to know me better. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to make any like statements or updates. I've been doing these a lot, which is like kind of cool because I can look back at them and then see how far I've come. But also, I notice how I'm promising myself things that I just cannot keep, and I have them like for good on the internet and spoken out, which makes them seem so final when I can actually like not control any of the things. So yeah, anyways, I am currently decorating the red sketchbook, and I've also drawn a bit in it, and I really like how it's going so far, and I really want to try a lot more things, but I'm still on art block, so yeah. But as I said, I hope you like this video, and I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do next. I actually wanted to upload the first episode of our artist podcast first, but I'm still working on that one. It's taking me a bit of time because everyone's busy and I'm kind of like not the most motivated. But I'm trying. Everyone's trying their best, and I'm really excited to revive this project, or to like finally like start this project really, because the first episode, like recording the first episode, was really nice, but we had technical difficulties, so it might take a while, but I'm trying to figure this out. I really want to keep this as an actual project that we can do, because it means a lot to me and I like all of the friends. But yeah, we'll see where the future is, I don't know, pushing me. I'm currently in a period of big changes, and I'm not really sure of where I'm gonna be in even like 3 months, but I'm really excited to figure that out and take some people along on the journey. And I don't know how I'm gonna take y'all along, y'all that I don't really actually know in real life, but yeah, I hope you enjoy either way. And yeah, so I'll hopefully see you someday. I have some things planned, but I don't know which video will be next. But yeah, I don't want to give this up like ever, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna leave now, and I hope you had a great day. I hope you're having a great week whenever you're watching this, whenever I will upload this. I hope life is kind to you and you're kind to yourself. And yeah, hope to see you soon. Bye!